Welcome to the Masters Bikini and Fit Model Podcast, a show created to spotlight, celebrate, and connect the women who are proving that strong, feminine, elite physiques do not expire with age. I'm your host, Lacy Green, IFBB Pro, and I'm joined by my co-host, Kyla, Faye, IFBB Pro. Together, we're here to highlight the stories, experiences, conversations, and community behind the women of Masters Bikini and Fit Model. This podcast is for the women who are still dreaming, still competing, still growing, and still showing up with purpose. Because strong does not expire and dreams do not retire. Hi guys, welcome back to the Masters Bikini and Fit Model Podcast. I'm your host, Lacy Green, and with me is my co-host, Kyla Faye, and we have a special guest today.
Today we have Niccole Guggia on our podcast. We're so excited to welcome her. She's an incredible athlete whose journey is proof that it's never too late to chase your dreams. She's a Masters Olympian, IFBB Bikini Pro. Niccole didn't begin training seriously until she was 36 years old and stepped on stage for her very first bikini competition in 2018. Just 2 years later, she earned her IFBB Pro card at her very first national level competition, the 2020 NPC North American Championships. Since then, she competed in more than 25 IFBB Pro League events and has become a multiple-time Masters Pro champion with victories at shows like the Nashville Pit Show, Chicago Pro, Charlotte Cup, Miami Muscle Beach Pro, and Republic of Texas Pro. She's also represented the Masters division on the biggest stage in the world, earning top 10 finishes at the Masters Olympia, not once, but twice. Her journey has taken all over the world, including competing internationally in Romania and Japan at Masters Olympia. And she's experienced everything from earning her pro card during the pandemic in a competition held under a tent, becoming one of the most respected Masters bikini athletes in this sport. Today, we're going to talk about her journey, the lessons she's learned along the way, what it's like competing at the highest level as a Masters athlete, and why she believes it's never too late to pursue your goals. Niccole, welcome to the Masters Bikini and Fit Model.
What an,
So happy you're here.
what an intro. Oh my gosh. It's so funny to hear. Like, obviously I don't ever have my bio read to me, but it's crazy to hear just that journey, just kind of in that minute long little bio. But yes, that is me. That is where I started and where I'm at today, which has been an amazing 9 years, something like that. It's been exciting and full of lots of ups and downs, which I'm sure we will get into today.
There was so much in coming up with your bio. And so I was like, okay, there's so much I could talk about. And it's just incredible. And as I was doing it, and as Lacy and I were talking about you prior to this, we're just like, damn, she's done some stuff. I've
been there. Yeah.
You've done some cool stuff, and you're just one of the top Masters pros, and there's so much to be learned from you. That's why I sought you out. Everybody, if you don't know, Niccole is my posing coach, as she's probably many of you listening. She's an incredible athlete, and we just want to hear just everything from you. This could be so long, but we won't take your entire rest of your day.
But, we could chat all day long, I'm sure. Yes.
But I want to know, you know what I love most? I love it when people share on social media. You're very active and sharing on social media, very real, authentic. That's what we love about you. And you showing your before, where you started and where you are now is and I know not just physically, everything about you is inspiring, but I'm going to talk about the physical piece of when she showed.
Let's talk about that first.
Where your booty was and where it is now makes me believe that I can do this.
And you know what? It's it's so funny because I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of embarrassing to show those early, photos, but I do it because I am just like everybody else. I had a starting point. I didn't come out of the womb looking the way I look now. I had to build this rep by rep by rep. And I was always a super skinny girl, teeny tiny. Actually, in high school, oh my gosh, I was a cheerleader, and they have the end of the year banquets and that kind of stuff. And my award was most likely to hula hoop through a Cheerio. I was, yes. I mean, can you imagine doing that now? That nowadays, that would never fly. But this was awarded to me in front of the entire cheer squad and parents and everything. And everyone laughed. And I mean, I didn't take it seriously. I was just skinny. Like I was a real thin girl. So to see where I've come, because I always felt like I'm never going to be that curvy girl. I can't build muscle. I'm just not built that way. And I kind of my early 20s and 30s, I just felt like everybody had a body type and that was what you were stuck with. And then I found bodybuilding. And I wasn't, when I first started, I really wasn't even sure like what was possible. Like I had no idea, but I was like, I'm going to just find out. Like, even if I can build a little bit. I actually got started because I was super self-conscious of my arms. Like my arms, my wrist, like it was like the same size, like all the way out. And I had these like noodle arms. And I was like, I just want to build a little bit of arms. Like in a tank top, I just want to have a little bit of shoulders and so that's kind of why I started. I just wanted to just have a little bit of muscle.
Well,
And
look at you now, girl. Look at you.
I know, right? Well, it's funny, my first show that I did back in 2018, my stage weight, I think, was like 97 pounds. And I was super tiny. I was shredded. And then my last stage weight, I think, was like 116. So I've put on over 20 pounds of like muscle, like solid muscle. And
Amazing.
to think about that, just how hard I've had to work for every ounce of that, like I'm proud of that. And it's like you said, it's not just about the physical, like I get to wear this armor all the time, but it's just the journey that it took, the whole, like who I became in that time. Like it's really life changing. So yeah, it's been, I actually have, I don't know if you can see it back here, but some of these, I'm at my house and these are my two amateur shows. And this is where I do my posting sessions. Every once in a while, I'll catch a look of, my early days. And I'm like, dang, I like look at that girl and like, I almost don't even like recognize her. Like, yeah, I feel like it's like almost somebody completely different, but I know that was me and I know that I've come a really long way. So it's been a super, super cool journey.
I have to ask, you must be short.
I am. I'm 5'3".
Okay.
Yes,
when you
I know.
said those
Anytime,
weights,
yeah. Anytime I say my weight online, that is always the first thing that somebody asks me, like,
you
how
must
tall
be
are you?
short.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like when people meet me in real life in person, they're like, oh, you're really tiny. And I think I just must present bigger on like social media. I think I look tall, I guess. So
I
people are
think you
always a
do.
little bit,
Even
yeah,
your posing. Yeah, me too. Just from
yeah,
watching your posing, I'm like, yeah, she's probably about, I'm 5'6". I'm like, she might be about 5'6". But when you said those
yeah.
stage weights, I'm like, no, she's shorter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm 5'3" on like a really good day. So
Yeah.
I think that I pose really tall. Like I've learned my entire life being short to
How
pose
to
big,
stand
to
tall.
stand big,
Yeah.
to stand up and like not shrink myself. But yeah, I'm a tiny person.
I love that. You
Yeah,
said something really very wise there about the journey. You were building a body that whole time, but there was more being built inside. And a lot
right.
changes on that journey. And I think it's neat to hear about that. Do you look at yourself as who you are now, being much different, even mentally, than who you were then?
Absolutely. Like I would say I feel mentally more different than I physically feel
Yeah.
different because I, like when somebody grows up and they're like overweight their whole life, they always see that reflection in the mirror, right? They always kind of, no matter if they change themselves. So I always kind of still see myself as that little person, but the inside, I am like big and strong and powerful. Like I know what I'm capable of. And not that I wasn't that person before, I just knew I had so much more in me. And now it's like I've found it. Like I have found that power and that strength. And it goes across all areas of life. Like I stand up for myself. I know what I want. Like, all of those things, you're confident. Like you don't care what other people say. And it's taken me years. I feel like most of us, we get to like our 40s and, you hear all the time, right? Oh, your 40s, your best. Like you take no BS from people. And I think that this journey has helped like that as well. It's not just an age thing. It's what I've done the last 10 years that's really just made me feel unstoppable and really like I can accomplish anything. Like, look what I've done. Like if I can
Yes.
do this, I can do anything. So yeah, it's definitely been a life-changing experience for sure.
And you've done like so much, like we said, like I mean, we just listed off the
Yeah.
accolades are incredible. So there's so much, but with you, I feel like there's always a next level. Okay, if you watch this woman
Mhm.
train online, she shares all of her workout videos, her posing.
Yeah.
She just opened her posing coaching. That's kind of recent, so we want you to talk about that. But when I look at
Yeah.
like how you train, and I'm like, how does she get better? But she keeps getting better, leveling up. Like it really is
Right.
something. So, like, what keeps you going, and like, what's the next level up for you? Like, what's the next
Right.
thing?
That's interesting because I don't know how to train other than 100%. And it's been the thing that has continued to push me at like a relative rapid speed when we're talking about the sport. But it's also like the detriment to me because I am like full force, 100%, like, let's go. And sometimes when I don't even know what I'm going for, like, I'm just like, let's just see what we can do. But, when it comes to the sport, I like to win. I I don't like losing and I have lost a lot and it doesn't feel great. And because I am like, listen, I'm not trying to win for anybody else, but I want to do it for myself. I want to prove that I'm capable of doing something really, really hard. So every day when I show up, whether it's what I'm eating, how I'm training, like everything, I just want to give it 100% so that when I step on that stage, I know if I lose, there was nothing more I could have done. Like I did not have a single moment that I could have given anything more. And I think that that's what keeps me going. When they announced Masters Olympia, that took it to it took me from like, where is this going? What am I doing? What? And then I was like, that's where I'm going. That's what I'm doing. That's where my goal is that now. So that definitely helped. And I'm so happy that they have done that for us. It was something that was greatly needed. And I honestly didn't know if I would ever see it. Like through this sport, there really hasn't been a lot of talk of it. And the year before they did it, so 2022, there started to be some rumblings. And I was like, is this really going to happen? And then it did. And I'm like, God, this is amazing. Because talking to, all the Masters athletes that I was competing with, everybody was like, now what? Especially the ones that were winning, right? I think you when you want to have goals, once you've kind of reached that, like, okay, not winning every show, but that you go in and it's like, I'm pretty competitive. It's probably going to be a first call out at most of my shows. What keeps you driving for more? Like, we want that next level, which I think is why we saw a lot of masters trying to do the open. And that was frustrating. I was one of them. I did an entire season where my coach pulled me out of the masters. I did one master show, won it, and she's like, we're going to open. And we can get into that decision, but it was one of the most frustrating years I've had competing ever. And I learned a lot and I'm thankful for it, but I never want to go back to solely doing open again. Like it's just not where I want to be. And so I was like so excited when they announced the Masters Olympia. Super
But
cool
you
for
still
us.
compete. You still compete in open though, right, Niccole?
I
Is it
do.
the
I
show?
do. Yeah. I do, and the main reason I do is because I'm there. I just want to get more stage experience. I don't do open, so a lot of these shows, like Tampa, is coming up next weekend. They split. Masters is on Thursday night, Open is on Saturday. To me, that is complete BS. Like I am not sticking around. Tan hair, makeup, all of this, and I felt like it wasn't always that way. So pretty much the Tim Gardner shows did that. Chicago did it. Tampa did it. And early in my competing, it wasn't that way. It was the same as everybody else. Saturday, Masters go on, Open goes on. And when they split it like that, I was like, I see what we're doing here. You're kind of saying, let's move the masters off of the stage and let's give, the open their thing. And so I won't do shows that I'll do the masters. Like I still love Tampa Pro. I still love all those shows, but I won't stay and do the open. So the only
That's so
open
much to
shows,
put on an athlete. Like we were talking to Rachel,
it's ridiculous.
that was our last episode that was out, and she did the Chicago Pro, and she was like, "Yeah, I mean, I've got to wash off my tan, put a new tan, on, get a workout in between, maybe change like it's
Right.
a lot for y'all." And it's that another step that masters have to take besides paying for
Right.
their paying to play, which
Shows. Yeah.
we talk about all the time. It's just this other thing, and it's like, why? Okay, there's more and
Mhm.
more Masters competitors. If you looked at the Masters Nationals, it was even bigger this year. I mean, they showed
They're
up. I think the
huge.
50
Yeah.
plus had like 20 something girls. I mean, this
And
should
they're
show,
competitive.
yeah, and competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, this should show promoters like we want to come. Like we're
Hmm.
coming to just as big as open competitors and just as competitive.
Right. And I think that promoters are starting to catch on to that because not every promoter had masters, but now with Masters Olympia, like we're starting to gain that speed. I don't know that we have the full respect yet, but I think it's coming. I think really good things are coming down the pipeline for masters. We just have to keep showing up. We have to keep showing up, bringing really competitive physiques. So, I think when it comes to like the masters and open, like what do we do? Are we being judged differently if we're a masters on the open? I don't think so. I mean, I do open and I'm still placing. I placed top 5 last year in the open. I won the masters, placed top 5 in open. So, and we're seeing that with some athletes, but you have to realize that when we're comparing a 40 plus girl to a 25-year-old girl, there's a lot that looks different, and it's not that, like, we're not as good. I mean, I'm not as good. It's like some of these open 25-year girls are just freaking, like, pieces of artwork. But we just are different. Our skin is different. We peak different. We diet different, right? We get super lean and super hard up top. So we just look a little bit different. So I just like an even, fair playing field when I'm going to put myself out there to be judged and critiqued. I don't want to set myself up for being pinned against somebody that could be my daughter. Like, I just don't feel like I don't need to do that.
You did a really good job verbalizing the differences. That was a really great way to specifically say, hey, here's what's different. And not that one's better than the other. That's just what the differences are because of time and aging. So you did a really
Right.
good job with that.
I agree. I want to get your take on fit model with that too, because the look, for bikini is obviously a little bit harder than fit model.
Right.
It's interesting because you talk about the open, which is younger girls, right? Mainly. I mean, we've got quite a bit of crossover. I've seen it in both my pro shows for my first pro season with fit
Right.
model. But fit model is, when you get these younger girls who are these top 3 that have been circulating as the top 3 open fit model girls. Now the new ones that are coming on, watch out because they look great too. But
Yeah,
they're
they do.
younger, and that full
Yeah.
like plump look is like really good for fit model. And when you get a
Yes.
certain age and you're 40 plus and you're trying to keep that, but you're trying to stay conditioned, you kind of get a little
Right.
harder and you lose that. You can't compete with that as well. Like that, I think that's something to talk
Right.
about with fit model.
Yeah, I think it is. It definitely promotes its own challenges because we're seeing younger and younger ages in fit model because bikini, it is now a 5 to 7 year entry division, right? So you're not going to get these 20-year-olds. That means they've been training since they were 15. Like, that's just probably not going to happen. Whereas fit model, a lot of them, if they had like an athletic background in, say, high school, they were, athletes, they're going to have that solid foundation. They can come in at 19, 20 years old and fit the criteria really well. So we are seeing a younger division now. So then we have to look at, okay, if you are 40 and now you are against 20-year-olds, like literally that could be your child. So it's even a little bit more of an extreme difference of what we're looking at. on the flip side, because fit model, you don't have to get as lean. Even masters athletes, you're not getting that shredded to the bone. And that's where we really start to show our age, right?
Bingo.
Face, skin, like lacks and the glutes. That last like 4 or 5 pounds that comes off between fit model and bikini conditioning, a lot of women, their glutes just it's like that skin under there just really starts to hang. So fit model does give you that little bit of extra cushion that you don't have to get super lean, but you're still dealing with the same things. Masters, well, all women diet and lose weight, pen down, right? So we start getting shredded. Our core gets shredded, our arms get shredded, and then we hold that last little bit of body fat through our glutes and hips. And then on the masters, you're just going to see it more extreme than you will on a young girl. So, I think that if you are a masters athlete and you are going to step on the open stage, you have to be realistic and you have to be out there, one, for the stage experience, two, just to see where you stack up. Okay, let's say you get top 10 in an open show. That's freaking amazing for a 40-year-old girl to be top competitive with these 20-year-olds. Like, that is something to be proud about. And I've had clients that they kill it in their masters. First place, cross scores, first. Then they're like, I got 10th in my open. And that's the thing that like they remember from that show. And I'm like, we can't do that to ourselves. Like, right? We cannot do that. And actually, when I won my pro card at North Americans, I think I placed, because that, has open too. So I did both. I think I placed like 10th or 11th in the open, but I won my pro card in masters and I didn't care about open. I was like, who cares? I am proud that I'm a masters. And once you turn pro, that's the other thing. You can turn pro as a masters and then compete in the open. If you really want to, you don't have to just compete as a masters. You're able to compete wherever you want once you get that pro card. So I think just being realistic with expectations across the board in the sport, no matter what your age is, you have to understand that this is a subjective sport. You are being judged against other people, and it's not that they're better or worse or whatever. We're just all built different, and it is what it is. And I think that people that can get that mindset will go really far in this sport. People that their hearts hurt after one loss, it's a really tough sport to stay in.
Yeah, because you're going to lose more than you're going to win.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have lost. I've had a couple losses that just like, knife to the heart. One very recent. But you get over it. Nobody else remembers. Nobody knows. Like, do you know what show I lost?
I only remember you winning, Niccole. Like,
Yes. Right. Like, that's
the tiara on your head all the time.
And I share it all. Like, I post all of my losses. I am kind of embarrassed. I have one show I'll talk about. So I went and I won Chicago Pro. So Chicago Pro and Masters Worlds. So Chicago was like on a Thursday and then Worlds was on Sunday. And so I'm in California. I was already over there. So I'm like, screw it. Let's go from Chicago, whip over to Pittsburgh and step on Pittsburgh State. So I did. It was a quick turnaround. It was like, I had to get on a plane, go over there. And I came from winning Chicago Pro to placing, I think, like 10th at Worlds. Many of the same girls were there. A lot of us did the same thing. And I was like, what? And I think I got a little bit in my head, I won Chicago Pro. I was like, let's go win Worlds. Like, I was like high on life. And I think it was just the universe being like,
knocked you down a bit.
Let's knock that little crown off a little bit and show you that you have to continue to work for this. And I was a little salty about it. And, I was with my coach and I'm like, what happened? Like the judge, this, that. And it was just like retrospectively looking back and looking at the photos, I had lost like 3 pounds between those two shows. Different girls showed up. They looked better than me. And it is what it is. Like, well, I got right back out and did a show in a couple weeks and all was forgotten,
And that's
So
one
it
thing
definitely taught me.
like, you can never go, I won. I'm going to go and I'm going to win or
Yeah.
place in top 3 the next show. You
Right.
never know who's going to show up. You never know what your body's going to do. I don't care if it's the next day. You don't know. And the variables are like they're what ifs, right? And then the
Right.
judging is very subjective in this sport. Like you are subjected to like does that judge like your
Right.
look? There's a criteria, but there's also it's very subjective.
There's preference. Yeah. And through my 30 shows that I've done, I have had to get smart and take a lot of notes and all of my, Excel spreadsheets. And I've learned what judges like what look, what judges like my look. And you have to start playing smart. If you want to excel at anything in life, you got to pay attention. You got to see, you can't just go on a whim and be like, oh, I want to do this show. I mean, you could, and maybe you'll win it, maybe you won't. But I know there's certain judges that I will probably never win in front of. It's just they don't prefer my look. And so I try to stay clear of that. Now, I wish that the industry would always tell us what judges are on panels, like
I do too.
before the show, and stick to it. And we're starting to see that a little bit more, but you better believe when I see that announcement, I have my list of shows for this year. And even I've already started for next year, and I'm making notes. Who's judging, who won it, who showed up, what the prizes were. Like I want all of the data as I navigate through this sport because I want to set myself up for success and my athletes too. My posing girls, like I know, okay, this judge is probably going to be a better show for you to go to. Even though I'm not their coach, like I can help give my perspective and guidance to them based on like just my experience and my note taking. my, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's so smart. Like, I think this is something maybe like a trade secret a lot of people don't talk about. I know it may sound silly to some, that you're like, no, I want to get in front of the judge, but why? I think it's a very good
Right.
strategy because there are certain, pulls towards one look for some judges. And you see that
Right.
clearly. They've all been doing this a long time. These aren't new judges. So
Right. Yeah.
that's a tip to write down, everyone. So
Right. I do think that early in your years, like let's say you're a brand new competitor, right? And you're like, I'm doing my first show. I think picking a show for that, pick something that's local-ish to you, close to you, where your family can come visit, drive to it. At that point, it's not going to matter. But as you reach going up to, past that national level show into your pro career, that's when it matters. That's when it's like we're starting to get very detailed on everybody showing up looking freaking phenomenal. And we have to like kind of like, okay. Or sometimes even like, I know that this competitor is going to do that show. She always does that show. I will look up histories like, okay, let's say that girl always does Tamara's show. Well, I don't know if I can beat her, to be honest with you. So maybe I'm not going to do that show, right? And or sometimes it's the opposite. Like that girl always does that show, and I want to be next to her. I want to see where I stand next to the best, right? And I did that through pretty much my entire pro season. I was not afraid to get where those girls were. Do you guys know America?
Yeah.
Beautiful. She just retired. Yeah. Yes. So she was one when I first came into the pro league. She was winning every show. Like she's freaking amazing. And I was like, I got to get next to her. I got to get in there with her and I got to see where my weaknesses are compared to the girls that are at the top winning because I want to be there. So I think it's just strategy. It's putting yourself where you need to be at the time in your career that, it calls for. So yeah, I mean, just paying attention, watching, learning. We have so much access with social media. And I think a lot of people are willing to, talk. And if you ask questions, people will tell you this is not an industry that there's tons of secrets with. Like people are willing to share their journey and their advice. You just got to ask and pay attention. So definitely a good tip. Watch and learn.
Yeah.
Another thing to watch and learn from Niccole is her nutrition, y'all. Let's start with her husband. Okay, so when she
Oh my
goes to
gosh.
shows, you guys just have to follow her on Instagram because when she goes to shows, her husband, he is also bodybuilding king. He looks amazing, great
Yes.
physique. And he eats lots of treats at her shows.
He does. He eats them all for me. Yes.
And when they travel, she does. But
Yeah.
Nicole stays true to her nutrition. And I know you like to feel good. I think some people might look at that and go, live a little.
So my husband, Kevin, is also a bodybuilder but semi-retired. Like he still lives the life, but just doesn't compete. But he has been to every single one of my shows. So we are a duo. We travel together. He comes to every one of my shows. He's he does my tan for me. He fixes my hair. He's like the stage mom. And he is a stressor. Like if I'm on stage, he actually can't even come to the venue and watch. He sits in the hotel room. He'll usually get the live stream and he just tries to just breathe and not freak out. But he's a mess. So he stress eats and he gets all of the treats. We go to the grocery store, get my, cotton rice, and he's in the bakery with the cookies and the brownies and what else. And he's just living his best life. He's this is great. I love going to shows. This is amazing. And he's just so funny because he loves his sweets. And I don't. I'm not a sweetaholic. Like Kyla said, which actually kind of is what led me into this sport was I had, or I have ulcerative colitis. So I had tons of GI stuff. I actually got very sick trying to figure out what was happening, colonoscopies, all of this stuff. So ended up finding out that's what it was, which led me to a full plant-based diet. So I was vegan for 5 years. And when I went vegan, I was like, I should probably make sure I'm getting enough protein. How do I do this? But, this is a whole new lifestyle for me. And then I found a online vegan coach I thought was just going to help me with nutrition, maybe building my arms a little bit. And she happened to be a bikini competitor. And so I was like, well, what's that? I had no idea. I thought bodybuilding was just for men. I didn't know anything about the sport. And I started to research it a little bit. And that's what kind of was maybe I should do this. So I competed the first couple years as a full vegan, healed my gut, got super healthy, felt great, felt strong. And I just never want to go back to feeling like I did, weak and sick and tons of GI issues. Feeling bloated to me is one of the worst feelings.
I agree.
It changes my mood. It changes, your energy is shot. I don't want to work, do anything. And so it took me a bit to get to the point where I realized I'm in control of what I put in my mouth, and what I put in my mouth directly affects how I feel. And it's just not worth it. I decided I'm giving up everything that my body decides it doesn't need and doesn't want. And I had a lot of people saying to me oh, you're so restrictive. That's not good. You need a break. And I'm like, a break from what?
Right.
I feel great and I enjoy the foods I eat. They seem boring to some people. But to me, I'm like, listen, I don't have any GI issues. I'm building muscle. I'm sleeping great. I feel amazing. My energy is great. Just because I have to eat some cod and asparagus for lunch, I'll do it. This is where it comes I will do whatever it takes. It's not just about the sport. It's about being healthy and the best version of myself. And I think as a society, we get so wrapped up around food as being this treat and we deserve it. And it's no, we deserve to feel good and be healthy. So now back to my husband, she does not have GI issues. And every once in a while, I look at him eating this crap and I'm like, I wonder what that would be like to be able to eat that. Cause I always ask him, how does your stomach feel after you eat that? It's he has his favorite ice cream ever. It's this waffle ice cream thing from Japan. It's viral. Everybody sees it. It's at every 7-Eleven in Lawson's there. And every night the 7-Eleven was downstairs from our hotel. We'd walk down there and he'd get his ice cream. And it's so funny, but it makes him so happy. And, he obviously eats very well. 90% of the time, but that is his balance. For him, that's what he kind of needs in his life to make him feel good and balanced and sustainable. And I'm like, go for it. So I get joy out of picking out treats for him and, going with them. And like, I just watch and my treat every night, which I've been having since I started this like 8 years ago, is protein pudding. I take my protein, I mix it with water, make it like a pudding consistency, cashew butter on top, make it nice and cold, and it's delicious to me. And he looks at me like, that's not dessert. That's a protein shake.
I mean, to each their own, whatever makes you feel good, because at the end of the day, you have to wake up and feel good in your own body. And I don't know, I'm with you on that. It just, if it doesn't make me feel good, I'm probably going to pass on it.
Right. And I think that it's also a maturity thing. Like, trust me, I've had many years that I'm eating this cheesecake because I want it. And then I'd pay the price for 4 days. And I'm like, after you do that for so many years, it's like the same thing with drinking alcohol. Like, I don't drink alcohol because I'm like, it was a price I did not want to pay. Like, it's just like, I think you grow up a little bit and you realize, why am I doing this to myself? Like, I do not want to do this. And I think when you realize how good you can feel, that becomes addicting. It's like, okay, I want to feel good. I want to wake up, popping out of bed, ready to rock and roll, So I think it goes like, the food stuff, the sleep stuff, the scheduling, like all of that is just like, I know it seems extreme the way I live my life to a lot of people, but to me, it's just, that is my like safe place. Like, I know that if I do all of these things, I will feel great. And that's
you live ready. You live ready.
Right.
That's what Lacy and I talk about all the time. And like, you can jump, I'm sorry, but as women, we want to feel good in a swimsuit. We want to feel good in a cute outfit. We want to feel good going out. And if you want to live ready, you have to eat that way. You have to train that way.
Right.
I mean, it has to be a lifestyle thing. It doesn't have to be, 100% all the time. Right. But you should be doing that most of the time, wherever it works for you. But I think living ready is just, it's one of the, it's a gift we give to ourselves.
Right. My husband always said that we got to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. Like, it's like at any moment, I'm like, let's go to Hawaii. Let's put on a bathing suit. Let's go. I don't care if it's December, middle of winter, or if it's summertime. Like, I'm like, let's go. So and it's like, I work too hard in the gym to ruin it with a bad diet. Like, why would I do that? I want to look like an athlete because I am an athlete and I work my butt off in the gym. That it's like, you can just dial it back a little bit. And it's like, there you go. That's all you really needed.
Yeah. It's not a big shift.
Once you figure that out, that's a good life. It really is.
Right.
I mean, people from the outside think it's miserable because they don't know what we know. They haven't experienced what I love living in my body every day. I love it. Right. And I love my food too. And it's like, people like look at me crazy for the way I eat. I'm like, but I enjoy this and it makes me feel good.
Yeah. It's our little secret. If we have any secret, that's what it is, right?
Yeah. It's beautiful. I mean, you live your life in an inspiring way. Niccole does her vacuum. She does her cardio. She does her stretching. Like, I see, that inspired me to stretch. Yes. The stretching. I'm like, damn it. She's stretching. I got to stretch.
That has been a journey for me. That has been a journey because I hate stretching just like everybody else hates stretching. But the more athletes that I coach and pose, the more I realize, this is really important because I'm having to help girls with their asymmetries, with their hip shifts, with all of these things that are caused mostly because they're not stretching. A lot of it, the posing, because we only pose on one side, we're creating these imbalances where one side is shortened, one side is lengthened, and we can correct that if we just stay on top of our stretching, So it's like, every day when I think I'm not going to do it, I'm like, just do it for 5 minutes. And then I end up doing it for like 7, 8, 9 minutes. And I'm like, it actually feels great. Why don't I like doing this, But it's just one more thing to add to the list.
Yeah, it's worth it though. I think everybody wants to be a little more disciplined with that. And it's something to consider because it does pay you back.
Yeah. With posing, especially like you said, with posing, I want to talk about your posing because every time before you started being a posing coach, I was always like, why isn't she a posing coach? Because you were, I mean, it's something that she just is. I mean, you're good at a lot of things. We all have heard that this far. However, like the posing, tell me why, tell the athletes, everyone listening, why it's so important. And I often say to my athletes, I say, we go on stage not to show off our physique, but to pose our physique, to show off, the posing shows your
Right.
physique. So like explaining, because you're very technical when it comes to it. You know how to pose your own body. You've showed, hey, if you do
Right.
this is what this angle looks like. But look at this tiny little tweak and
This
it changes everything.
little toe, the big
Yeah.
toe moving to the side. Yeah, I think of it as like, okay, when you're taking a picture, right? Like you and your family are standing there, you're taking a photo, and you stand there and you're like, that's a really bad angle. Like that, I can look a lot better than that. Then you tweak a little bit. You move your shoulders, you move your hips, you kind of have a different angle. And then all of a sudden, like you look 10 pounds leaner and it's just, you look better, right? You look more like what you want to look. It's the same thing with posing. If we just were to walk up there and stand on stage, we all look like, especially when we're all lean, we look like rectangles. We have no curves left to us. We have no shape, right? But if you can display the pose, we can force these curves. We can show the body in the way that we want to, right? So it's not just whatever, however we stand there. So, the judges, they can only judge what they're seeing. And I've experienced it myself. Like, God, why does my glute look so flat? Like, it's because my glutes were not arched. They were tucked under, or they weren't pulled all the way around. So it's a make or break. And it's unfortunate. I mean, fortunate for me because I'm a posing coach, but unfortunate as the athlete that we can work our butts off for years and years and years. And if we skip on posing, it could
Yeah.
honestly all be for nothing. And
Yeah.
it's like, damn it. Like, I know that I had nice shoulders. I know that my glutes would look better than that. And it's like you just kind of mess up a little bit on posing. And that's where experience, obviously we want to be practicing our posing. We want to have somebody helping us see what we need to be doing. But getting on stage, that's kind of why I go back to like doing all the divisions or all the classes that you can at open, masters, novice, whatever it is. The more time that you have heels on that stage and experience of it, the better poser you're going to be, because we can practice all we want in the comfort of our home, even with our posing coaches. It is different when we get on that stage. You're
Oh,
by
yeah.
yourself, you're nervous, there's adrenaline, there's audience, you have a panel of judges looking at you with zero expressions on their face, no smiling, no feedback. And it's terrifying. I mean, it can be a very intimidating process, especially, as adults. We don't do that. We don't put ourselves in those uncomfortable situations. So the more experience you get on stage, the better poser you're going to be. And every time you step on that stage, you're going to learn something about your posing. I still, at this level, I'm still like, okay, I messed that up. Like, I totally screwed that up. I don't know what I was thinking, but then it's like, I won't make that mistake again. I'm going to make a different mistake, but I won't make that one again. And that is why you see, especially bikini and fit model athletes doing so many shows. We physically can, because we're not, the big bodybuilders that just can't do that. We can, right? So we learn, and that's how you get better really quick, is just taking that experience, hopefully having somebody take a video of you so you can see what you look like on that stage, make those corrections, have a posing coach help you dissect, okay, what went wrong. The other tip I like to do is when your photos come out on NPC News Online, go look at them. Hopefully there's a decent amount, frame by frame. If you're a good poser, each frame should look decent, right? There shouldn't be a photo where you're like, "Ugh," like arms up, belly out, glutes down. Like, you did a pretty good job posing. When each frame, you can see it all coming together, right?
Yes.
If not, use those frames as being like, okay, when I walk out, I need to pull my core in. My core looks out. Or I have this bad habit of like my leg stance is always wide when I'm walking. I'm like, close my legs. I need my thighs to be touching when I'm walking so I don't get this like wide-legged, like weird look on my photos. So using that back to those like, studying the sport, study your own stage photos and look and see, even down to facial expressions. When are you making weird faces or looking down or looking to the audience? Like we need to be looking at the judges. We need to be smiling. We need to have our chin up, every little detail that you can like perfect is going to make that stage experience and just the overall photos and everything just better. And that's what we want. Sometimes when we come out of a show without a win or a trophy or whatever it is, if we have amazing photos, that's going to last forever. That is something that you're going to be able to show your children or grandchildren or friends in the nursing home. Like, look at me when I was 30, It's
That's
like a
gonna be
super
me.
cool thing to, yes,
That's me.
exactly. And we should be proud of that.
Yeah.
And, we want to have those good photos. So a lot of that I do in my posing sessions, I have some girls that have bad habits. They don't feel confident looking straight at me or looking straight at the camera, or looking straight at that head judge. And we have to really correct that because it shows a lack of confidence. When you look at somebody, when you look at that head judge and you are like locked in, smiling, eye contact, that makes them want to look at you. And it's like, okay, this girl is like, she's rocking it. She's having a great time up there. She doesn't look afraid. Like she looks confident.
Mhm.
And that goes a long way with the judges. We are performers and we need to act like we're putting on a show, right? We want our audience to want to watch us, and confidence really, really helps with that.
Yeah. I love that you said that. My grandma was like, she came
That's
to my
funny,
my
Kyla,
pro
because I
debut.
was just thinking about your grandma and what she would say.
Were you really? Because this
Yeah,
is so
I was
funny.
going to say it.
My grandma was like, "Oh, I cannot wait to see you perform your performance." And I was like, "Oh, that's so funny." I was like, "She said performance," and then I was like, "Well, it is a performance. It actually is a
It
performance."
is. Yes. And sometimes we have to channel a performer, right? Because like we talked about in the beginning, like they said, we're gym girls. We are not performers. We're not like these like rock stars that we're used to doing this. And so sometimes we have to just channel like a different personality of like, okay, today I'm Beyonce and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be somebody that I'm not. Most of us are moms, right? Like, and it's so funny because when I'm backstage, this has happened at almost every single show I've done. I'm lined up, and in that moment, they line you all up, and it's all kind of silent, right? We're prejudging, we're all serious, we're in our zone, we're all nervous, and we're all like, oh my God. Almost every show, I have this moment of like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, get me out of here. I don't want to do this. I don't want to come out there. Like,
Abort
who do I
mission,
think
abort.
Yes. It's like, where do I tap out? Let me out. And it's like, I have had like a moment where I even look around like, can I get out of here? Like, what do I need? What am I doing here? I don't need to do this. And it's like the strangest thing because it's like, this is who I am now, but it's like just a piece of me. It's like a small little part of me that it's just like, I'm just a performer, right? Like the next day I wake up and I go back, call my kids, how's it going? We get a dog needs to go to groomers, like it's just back to normal life. And so I think if you can kind of like channel that a little bit and realize like this is just a part of who you are. It's not everything. This is a sport. This is a hobby. It's fun. It should be fun. It's not life or death. Like whatever happens, happens. So I have to kind of like check myself a little bit and be like, just go out there and have fun. Just who cares?
Don't take it
Who
so
cares what happens?
seriously.
Right.
Yeah, don't be
Right.
it's not that serious. Like, I mean, I know
It's
we all
really
want to
not.
do well. We work really hard
Right.
for months.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, if you're not having fun, what the hell are you doing up there? Like you got to have fun.
And you'll regret it. Like if I have fellow athletes that I compete with and they're a mess. At every show, they are just a freaking wreck. And I'm like, girl, you're going to look back on this one day and be so mad that you didn't live in this moment. Like we are doing something that people only dream of. I can't tell you how many girls come to me at like 40, 50, even 6 years old. And it's like, what made you do this? And they're like, I've been wanting to do this since I was 20, or I've been wanting to do this, and it's like, And they're like, I'm finally just doing it. And it's like, what if you would have done it then and just started? Like it's just a fun thing to do. It's your own journey. It doesn't have to be like, I want to win everything, because that's just not realistic. And I think people are afraid to start because they're afraid to fail. And it's like, just do it. Just start. Trust me, just start.
That's good advice. I think what's interesting about that is, again, they don't know what they don't know yet. But one of the
Right.
things that keeps me going isn't the stage. It's not the competing. It's what I get from the lifestyle now.
Right. Yeah. And it's the people. This community, amazing. I have met so many amazing women. And I don't know about you girls, but in my normal day-to-day life, like, I'm not surrounded by women that are doing this. Like, I don't have any like real life hometown friends that are doing this. And so it connects me with people like you girls that are like, we're the same. We're all the same. And we feel a little less crazy when we have that community around us.
Yes.
And even if, they live in, I have friends that live in Utah, like all over Florida, and we meet on social media and we chit chat, and it's like, we all get each other in a way that's, if you aren't in this, you just don't, right? You just
And
don't
it's
get
a
it.
sisterhood.
And
It's like a community. It's a
it is,
community. That's why we started this, Nicole's, because we want
yeah,
masters to feel that community. And there's something about women of our age that, you're like, okay, like, but we just support each other. Someone said it on here. I can't remember which guest, but said there's just so much support in the masters, like backstage
right.
is just so different. And I really felt that at my 2 shows. And I felt that when
Hmm.
I've competed masters NPC. So that community is just, it's everything,
It
because
really
yes, I have
is.
friends outside of this sport, of course, some, best friends, and I have best friends inside the sport. And I got to say, my friends that aren't in the sport feel like they are when I'm in prep, because they're like, oh my God, Kyla, don't talk to her today. She's on 90 carbs. But like,
Yeah.
but they're not going to get it like
They haven't
you guys
experienced
get it.
it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's a different thing. Yeah. I think Abby was the one that kind of talked about that and
Yeah.
her
It was Abby.
experience
Yes.
with,
Thank
yeah,
you.
with her experience with the Masters. And I've felt that as well. I've done, going back to the season that I did only the open, it was amazing because I competed with all of the greats. Like, that season was like, I was on
Who was
stage with
it?
Laura
Who,
Lee.
who, oh,
I
Laura,
mean,
you were.
I
Oh,
competed with Laura Lee, Jen Dory, Issa, Jazzy. Like, I competed with all of them. Like, it was an insane year because all those girls were competing. And the only girl that I really have not competed with that I really want to is Ashley Little. Like, the little blonde, like, I was like, I
oh, I
really want to
love
compete
her.
with Ashley. And she's like, I mean, honestly, I'm thinking out of the like top 10 of Olympia this year, I think she's the only one that I have not competed with. Actually, Kay I've competed with. Like, I have been up there with the greats. And
And
it's
Amy.
an
You've done
in
Amy. Have you,
yeah, I've
Amy
done
too?
Amy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. You've
multiple
been next to
times I've
Amy.
competed with Amy.
Yeah.
I actually did a show with Amy when she was like brand new pro. Like, she was back, she was so sweet. It was Nashville Fit Show, and she was backstage, and I had made top 10, so that one only top 10 came back for finals. And so we're all back there. And she was so nervous. And she's like, I don't know, did I do okay? Like, I don't know about my posing. My husband said that my posing needed to be better. And I don't know if my glutes look okay. Like, she was just like that spiral of self-doubt, not like, she was great. Like, obviously she's Amy. But so yeah, I've been able to see these girls also grow up. But the difference of being backstage with the open girls and being backstage with the masters girls, it's night and day. Like, the open girls, they all stay in their corners. They don't really talk to each other. Like, they're nice to each other. There's not cattiness, but they're not hanging out. They're not shooting shit with each other. It is coaches, athlete in that corner, this one over here, kind of eyeing each other a little bit. But you don't see that with masters at all. Like, I don't think I've had any run-ins with any masters shows. Like, they've all been amazing. And we all know each other. The circuit is like pretty small, right? So we're all like, we'll see you next weekend across the world. Like, who knows where we're going to be, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I love. I mean, I love it. It's great.
Yeah. I love that part of the sport. That's how I met Lacy. I know we say this every episode, but I met her in line at a Masters, our pro show.
You're
So
your life, but
yes, we were line buddies, and I like it's really cool. And then you see people evolve, and you have someone. You know what I love about it is being an NPC. It's always kind of random people,
Right.
you know, like in
Yeah.
in that circuit, and you never know who you're going to meet. So you kind of feel like I've never really been a part of a team, so
Mhm.
I didn't. I never really had anyone. I don't mind that. It's not a big deal for me, but like
Yeah.
it's kind of nice to have someone backstage, you know. And now Lacy and I will be at the same shows, you know, and that's something to look for. I don't know, it settles or calms me a little bit knowing that I have
It does.
a sister
It's
back
fun
there.
to have a buddy, right? Like
Yeah.
somebody that, like, what time are you going backstage? Did you
Yes.
hear anything about this or finals? Like, it's just nice to have that. It is a comforting feeling. And even just being backstage, sometimes we're back there for a couple hours, like just kind of just laying down and just like, what's up? Like somebody to, talk to, and like, God, did you see that guy? Like, it's just kind of fun. So, and then also you can learn a lot, like what was your feedback? What did the judges say to you? Like, we can kind of come together in that sense too. And just, like I know at Masters Olympia this past year, a lot of us came together after and was sharing our feedback. And it was pretty consistent, like the same.
What was your feedback? I need to know what Nicole's feedback. It wasn't grow your glutes, that's for sure.
It was not grow my glutes. The feedback was grow your legs a little bit. So bring up your legs. We want to make sure that we're balanced. Like if you're somebody who has big glutes, you got to have big legs, right? So mine was bring up your legs a little bit. And then the feedback that was very consistent for, I would say, I probably talked about 5 girls, was you guys were all bent, or they didn't say this, but you're bending over a little bit too much in your back pose, which I found was interesting because I don't think that we were all doing that, right? So it makes me wonder if it was like the angle where the judges were sitting, looking up at us, if maybe to them, it looked like we were bending over. So I thought that was kind of interesting because I looked back at my pictures and I was like, oh, I don't really think so, but maybe I was. And after that, we started hearing that as a lot of consistent feedback across a lot of the shows. And so I think it was kind of a judging. Every season, you're going to hear certain things consistently, right? So a lot of times it was the tie-ins. Oh, you need more tie-ins. Then you need more upper glutes. And then we need more lats. So I think that trends happen. And I think the trend was happening of girls. They wanted us more upright in that back pose to show more of that shoulders, little waist, big glutes. If we bend over too far, we lose that upper body a little bit, which kind of distorts it. And then we also flatten the top of our glutes when we bend over too much. So I think it was a slight maybe trend of, posing that we started to see, but anyways, yeah. So we kind of share feedback and go from there. That was really my only feedback with Masters Olympia. My own personal, I kind of messed up. I'm going to be honest with you girls. So I went to Japan. We were in Japan and I had never been to Japan before. And I was excited to go and see the country. And I always go to shows when I have to fly with them at least a few days early, right? To help settle any inflammation, water. Well, we got there, I want to say it was like 4 days early. And I wanted to explore. I wanted to walk around, see some of the temples, just kind of get a gauge of the city. And so we did. It was just me and my husband. We walked, I'm going to say probably 15, 20,000 steps on it, daily. And it was so hot. And I would try to, we got to go back to the hotel. I got my feet up. I got to rest. I was burning through food like a mad woman. My coach James was like, go get sushi. You need food. And I just couldn't keep up with it. And I was losing volume. I was kind of, slowly fading away. But I think my electrolytes were so out of balance because of the heat and the walking that I got on stage and I cramped so bad. I've never cramped on stage ever.
Yikes.
My calf muscle on my back leg, so the one that's supposed to be up in the front pose, it was spasming from the bottom of my foot up to my hamstring. And I could not keep my foot And the whole time I'm on stage, I'm like, this is not happening. Like, this is Olympia. And I'm in first call out and I couldn't pull it together. And I was like, oh, I wanted to cry so bad. I just had to hold it together, and I feel like, who knows if things would have been different for me if that wouldn't have happened. I don't think that show were not on par with like what I wanted. Like I feel like I kind of screwed that one up. Like, it's like my desire to see Japan and live and be a tourist and kind of like, experience life while I was there took over a little bit of my role on that stage. And if I could go back and do it all over again, I would have sat in my hotel room like a zombie and just ate sushi and did nothing else.
That sucks. And
I know.
My husband says, I go, let's go to Japan next year for a show. And I said this a couple months ago, and he said, why? So we can sit in the hotel room? Like, you can't walk around. Like, and I was like, oh, he's kind of right. But I probably would have done the same thing, come to think of it. I mean, but yeah, it sucks because you're in this new place, you're in a new country, you want to see it, but like you really can't see it till after. But you got to be there early because I have the same thing as you, where I go early because of inflammation. I even did that for Utah. I came several days early because of the altitude, and I get inflamed on flights. I don't get there an hour. I get bloated if it's an hour-long flight. So, so I'm not about to do that for a show. So, it's like you're stuck between that. But yeah, you're there for the show, so you gotta sit in your hotel room.
Right. That's what. Yes, and I couldn't. My kids started that. Was the first week of school. So my son started high school while I was in Japan, and my daughter started junior high. So I couldn't bring them. And so when the show was over, I'm like, we got to get back. Like, I can't spend an extra week here. Like, I got to get back. I got kids in school. Like, some people stayed for 2 weeks in Japan. They went a week early, chilled, relaxed, did their thing, and then explored after. And that just wasn't an option for me in my life and with the kids. And so, yeah. And it's just funny because it's like, we just went back to Japan last week. And I'm like, if I would have known we were coming back, I would have been like chill a little bit. But like I said before, every show you do, you learn something, and you better believe that wherever Masters Olympia is next year, I'm sitting my ass in a hotel room with my feet up, not doing anything that's going to drive my coach absolutely mad. So yes,
where's it going to be, do we think? Have we heard any whispers?
Yes, I've heard whispers. I've been sworn secrecy. And again, it's just rumors. I do think it's going to be in the United States.
We've heard that.
I've heard that rumor of the United States. So we're hoping.
Oh,
yes, hoping. I've heard a couple different states. I've heard possibly Pittsburgh. I've heard possibly Florida. I've heard possibly Texas. I don't think it's going to be, well, I know it's not going to be with Olympia in Vegas, which that's one thing that I really hope that happens for Masters Olympia, is that it gets thrown somewhere in that weekend. I don't care if it's Thursday with the amateurs or Saturday. It doesn't really matter. I just think that we have earned that spot there. But I'm happy with it coming to the United States. As much as going to Romania and Japan was like in life, that was super cool experience to be able to do as an athlete and a competitor. It's not ideal. It's not ideal to travel to other countries. And I feel bad for the international people that always have to travel here for shows. But the fact of the matter is, this sport is based out of the United States. So I'm hopeful that it is coming to the United States. I don't think that they have a promoter that's picked it up yet. And that's really what's going to be determined of where it's going to be. So we'll see. I'm going to guess they'll probably announce it sometime after the first of the year, January-ish. They'll probably tell us where it's going to be.
Can't wait. Cannot wait to hear.
Find out.
I mean, there's more U.S. competitors. Like when you were in Romania, is it Romania that you told me? There were more U.S. competitors than international competitors, right?
And Japan too. There always is going to be more U.S. shows. And so that's why they pulled it there. And they actually did a really good job. And I was excited when Japan announced that they were doing it in Japan, because I've watched these Asian shows, all these, Japanese shows. I'm like, wow, the production's amazing. I have to say that think that Romania did a better job than Japan did with the show as a whole, but super cool experience. I mean, like what an opportunity, right? To travel the world and compete, like super, super
It's
cool.
pretty cool. And with the Masters Olympia,
Yeah.
like I agree with you. I'd love to see it with the regular Olympia in Vegas. It's like iconic for the Olympia. And we often talk on here
Right.
about, I mean, someone commented on one of my, it was a post that I made where like pros shouldn't have to pay to play, which I stand by. We're professional athletes, doesn't matter how old you are, you've all earned your spot for that pro
Right.
card. So it's like,
Right.
and somebody got on that's, you know, a coach and everything and said, you know, nobody really wants to see 40, 50, 60-year-olds grace the stage. And that
Mhm.
really, why don't you tell my 20
Yes.
family members that came and paid for tickets at Wasatch, you
Yeah.
know? So
Right.
that one hurt a little bit because I don't think it's
It's
true.
frustrating.
But it's just a
No.
frustrating space because, you know, masters they're going to continue showing up more than ever and the support just needs to be there, you know? And so I just kind of want to hear your
And
thoughts on that.
yeah, I think what a lot of people are forgetting, and like even like the high-ups in this industry, we do know that everybody eventually is going to be a masters, right? Like everybody's aging. And like let's look at some of the greats right now. Okay, let's look at Ashley Kay. She's not far off from 40. Like she's going to be a master. Whether she's going to be on a master stage, who knows? Look at Angelica. She just retired, right? So we are paving the way for everybody who's great right now. And those people have the following. Those people have the, you know, the fan base. They're going to follow them through this sport. They're not, you know, these Laura Lees and Ashleys and all these girls, they're not stopping anytime soon. It's not like all of a sudden they're just going to be like, oh, I'm retired and I'm going to gain 50 pounds and not look great. They're amazing and their fans are going to follow them. And with that follows the money. So as a masters athlete, like we're just paving the way for them. Like we are like the frontiers of where this, you know, sport is going. And I think that showing, you know, I'm not trying to be 25. I'm just trying to show these 25-year-olds what's ahead of them, what's to come. And I think that a lot of them, even though they're not saying it, they're looking at us like, all right, if she looks that good at 40 and she didn't start, she was 35 and I started when I was 25, I'm going to look that good, if not better at 40. And I think it gives them something to look forward to and hope that, okay, even after, you know, 40 or having babies or whatever it is, like this just doesn't end. This just keeps going and we can look really, really good at all different ages. So I just hope that the longer everyone's in this sport and we're watching everybody continue on, it's just going to get more and more respect for the master stage, which is why I think that we will in time get that. But this is new. I mean, honestly, like the past probably 5 years, masters division has really taken off. Before that, it wasn't huge, right? It wasn't like a big thing. Now we're seeing masters divisions like huge. They are showing up really good. 56-year-olds. Like I'm just like shocked at like the density some of these women have. I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, you guys look really good. And even with like modern medicine, if we want to call it that, peptides and lasers for our skins and all of those things, like we are aging gracefully now. And we have the knowledge of what muscle mass can do for us as we age, and we're using it. We're taking that information and we're running with it. So we'll see. We'll see what the industry does as a whole. I think promoters, like we talked about, are realizing that there is money in this. These girls and guys are showing up, and they have the money to show up too. Some of these young people, they don't have the funds to be doing shows like this, you know, but we do, and we have the lifestyle that allows it.
Yeah, that was really well said. That was a good perspective on that. Thank you for that. That was really helpful. You could tell you've had longevity in the sport, and that is a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of wisdom.
So I want to know, so obviously Masters Olympia next year for you.
Yeah.
And we don't know when that will be or where that will be yet. Hopefully
Yes.
I join you on that stage for Fit Model.
Yes. I know now that
um,
I've met so many of my, clients, I'm like, I want everybody. I want to have this big party.
yeah,
I want to have a
reunion.
party
Yes.
backstage of of all these girls. I think it's going to be sometime in like August. I'm assuming that that's when they're going to have it again. So probably a year from now. That's
Okay.
probably when we'll be seeing that.
And then are you obviously you'll be doing shows leading up to that. Do you have a big set of like a
Yes.
list? Or what's on the
I
docket?
don't yet. I don't yet. So after I stepped off stage from Japan, I came back. I did Battle of Bodies, won that one, so that qualified me. That was my goal. I'm like, okay, I got to get some Japan. I got to get qualified for the next Olympia, and then I need to shut it down because I haven't taken a full off season since 2019. So this and it wasn't like I had tons of improvements to make. Like, it wasn't like they said I need all this muscle. But I think for my family, they've been riding this with me, right? My kids, my daughter, I think was like 3 or 4 when I started this. So they've had to make the sacrifices. And I've competed almost every summer since then. And so that's obviously their summer break. And so mommy's like traveling. And so I really wanted to take this year, pour back into them, travel, do all of the things that they want to do. I was like, we're going to Japan, we're going to the lake, we're going to concerts, we're doing all of these things that I can do them when I'm competing, but it's hard on me. It's a rough go. And so I dedicated myself as much as I have a little bit of FOMO with this season, like being fully back in. I'm like watching all these shows and I'm like, oh, I miss it. But I was like, nope, I'm sticking to it. I'm going to come back. I feel like the only thing
Well,
feel like
it's possible for you. It definitely is.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I know it could happen. I just have to be smart about this. And I think part of having this off season was part of that strategy of really just resetting everything in my life and in my body and everything so that when the time comes, I am all gas. I have one goal, and that is to win Masters Olympia. And I just, I feel like I've accomplished a lot and am proud of that. And I'm still like, but I'm not done.
Yeah.
I still have this thing. And I know in my heart that it's not over yet. Like, people ask me all the time, when are you going to retire? Like, what's the plan? And I'm like, I don't know. For once in my life, I don't have a plan. And I'm going to keep going until I know it's done.
Yeah, you'll know.
And when it's done, it's done. That's when it's done, it's done. And that could be after next year. That could be in 10 years. I really don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'm riding this ride because it's like super fun, and my family's supportive of me and they're loving it. Kevin's loving the treats. And I'm like, let's just do this. Let's just keep going. And I feel like I'm getting better and better. When you start to see that decline, it's like, okay, well, maybe it's time. But for now, I'm like, all gas, straight to Masters Olympia.
I love that.
Full throttle, baby. Full throttle.
We will see.
We
That's right.
We have a
yes.
signature question. Did we ask her, Lacy?
I didn't. I forgot all about it.
Oh, okay.
We got right into it.
What's the most meaningful part of your journey, and why does that stand out to you?
Gosh, I think that when I started it for the physical side, right? Like, I was like, I want to get in shape. I want to build muscle. And as I have navigated through this, I realized how much me doing this and sharing it impacts everybody else, or not everyone, but a lot of people. And I hear it over and over again. And I think that that's become kind of my why. Like, I want to show women of all ages, all walks of life, all starting points. It doesn't matter where you started. I want to show them what is possible with hard work and with dedication, that you can really achieve anything, right? Like, I've gone from this little teeny tiny 96-pound girl that wanted to do one show all the way up to Olympia. And I didn't know that was possible. I didn't really ever see anybody do it. So I hope that by me doing it, sharing it, being open and honest about what it takes, inspires somebody else to do the same thing. And I think that that's just what's keeping me going. And also my family. I want to show my daughter, like, listen, women are strong. We are powerful. We need to fuel our bodies. We need to train our bodies. Like, we need to stay super, super healthy. And seeing her, she's only 13. So, we haven't dabbled into weight training yet, but they see it. They're always watching. And so
they're always in the gym with you too. I see them in the gym.
They are.
with you.
Yeah. 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 It's like their playground.
Yeah.
And I think that, they have watched me lose. They have watched me come home, my head held down. I'm sorry I didn't bring home any trophies this time. But then the next day I get back up and I'm back to the gym. So showing them, myself, everybody that's like, listen, you got to get back up. Tomorrow's a new day. And if you want something bad enough, you got to work for it.
Yeah. And you've got to hip thrust over 400 pounds. Like Niccole.
those hip thrusts. Oh my gosh. Those hip thrusts are the demise of me. Sometimes I look at that barbell and I'm like in disgust. I'm like, I hate you. I don't want you in my life, but I'm like, it's like a bad relationship. It just keeps you coming back for more. It's like, just add 500 pounds. Just add a little bit.
You can add a little bit more. I struggled with that yesterday hard. God. I thought of you and I'm like, but this is what grows your glutes, y'all. I don't care what anyone says. It's not the barbell squat. It's the hip thrust. I mean, there's a lot of
it's the hip thrust.
But I guess it's awesome what you do. And we're just grateful to have you on here and just share your insights and your inspirations and just keep going, y'all. I mean, look what you can accomplish.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm here with you guys sharing my journey. Do part 2 when I win Masters Olympia in 2027. We can come back on and have my big O trophy.
Yes.
Oh,
that's so pretentious of me.
It's not. No, that's called manifesting. Do you know? I don't know if you know that I did this, but before I won my pro card, I posed with my pro card. I wanted to feel how I was going to pose on stage when I won my pro card. I was like, how am I going to hold it? How am I going to hold the trophy? I want good pictures. And you've got to manifest these things. You've got to believe you're doing the hard work. So you can't leave out that. But you got to manifest and believe that this shit can happen for you. If you don't believe it, then So I firmly know we'll see you in that winner spot. Like it's gonna.
I'm going to be in the audience cheering. I can't wait. I'm going to be like, I know her.
Well, I'm going to put on a performance of a lifetime for you girls out there.
I can't wait.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be awesome. You're awesome.
Well, this was so fun. Oh, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, thank you for coming
Thank you guys for doing this for all of us too. Like, to have a podcast dedicated to us masters that's super cool. I'm like really impressed that you started this, and all of the interviews have been.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you so much. We love you, and that's why we do this. And I guess that's a great way to close out the podcast, because I always say this, and I mean this, is I love you guys, and thank you for listening.
And I love you too, and we mean it.
Thank you for listening to the Masters Bikini and Fit Model podcast. If today's episode inspired you, please share it with another athlete. Follow us on Instagram, and remember, your best years are not behind you. They're still being built. We'll see you next time. Until then, we love you and we mean it.